Hi friends, welcome to the M4 Maths YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss arithmetic progressions. One problem. The problem is about p times pth term is equals to q times qth term. Then we prove that p plus qth term is 0. As this problem frequently asked in the examination either for 4 marks or 3 marks. Some students were asking, sir, will you explain? So definitely I will be explaining. Now p times pth term. What is the pth term? If I want to write pth term is equals to Tp, right? What is the formula for Tp? I can write A plus P minus 1 into D. This is it. But what if it is P times Tp is equals to P times whole equation over. This is the p times pth term. Okay. Now q times qth term. Similarly I can write. Similarly q into tq is equals to q into a plus q minus 1 into d. Directly I can write this statement. I have written this in this form only for sake of understanding. Okay, what is the condition? P times pth term is equals to q times qth term. You know it very well. They are saying p times pth term is equals to q times qth term. So what is the p times pth term? It is the p times pth term and it is the q times. I can substitute the values. So I am putting the values here. P into A plus P minus 1 into D, which is equals to Q into A plus Q minus 1 into D. Now I am going to solve both the sides, this side by P and this side by Q. So it will be written as AP plus P into P minus 1 into D and AQ plus Q into Q minus 1 into D. I have solved this side by P. So P into A, AP. P into this term, P into this term. Q into A and Q into the next term. Now I am writing rest of the answer there. As it is, I am going to copy this line and then we will continue with it. AP plus P into P minus 1 into D, which is equals to AQ plus Q into Q minus 1 into D. As it is, I copied that line. Now look at the board. I am just going to call all of them to the left. Entire right hand side I am calling to the left hand side. So AP, this AQ is positive, so it will be negative. AQ. Okay, plus P times P minus 1 into D as it is, and it will be minus, additive inverse of it is minus, Q into Q minus 1 into D. As I have called both of them to the left, what will remain to the right? Nothing. Nothing means 0 will remain to the right. Acha. Look at the first two terms, AP, AQ. What is common in between them? A, very good. What will remain inside the bracket? If you divide both of them by A, P minus Q will remain, right? Plus, solve this bracket, or you can take common. What is common in between them as well? If we want to take common, we have taken A as a common in between them. What can be common in between these two terms? You can tell me what is common in between them, so I can write it there. Yes, very good. I am writing it here. P into P minus 1 minus Q into Q minus 1. What is missing? D is missing. What is missing? D is missing. I am taking that D as a common. Both the D's are outside in common, which is equals to 0. So what we have done here, we have taken A as a common here and there D as a common. Okay. Now this part will remain as it is, A into P minus Q. Solve the bracket, P into P, P square, P into minus 1, minus P, Q into Q, minus Q square, negative, negative, positive, Q, D as it is outside, which is equal to 0. We have solved them in this way. Now we are going to write them properly as it is plus, what should I do now here? P square minus Q square I can write with each other, P square minus Q square. Then what else remain? Minus P plus Q. I have not done anything in it. I just rearrange their values and written as it is. As it is P minus Q. No change in it right now. P square minus Q square, as you know the identity, A square minus B square can also be written as A plus B, A minus B. So the same thing I am doing with this one. P plus Q, P minus Q. I have written P square minus Q square in P plus Q, P minus Q. Minus, if I am taking minus as a common, then P will remain inside the bracket as a positive, negative, positive, negative. Bracket close into D as a common is equal to 0. I will explain it one more time. P square Q square we written as a P plus Q, P minus Q. Out of them we took negative as a common. Negative, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. This part is little bit hard to understand, little bit. Okay, into D as it is. Now it will remain as it is, P minus Q plus, will you tell me, this is the one term as there is the multiplication between them, this is the another term. What is common in between them? Again there must be something common. So P minus Q is common in between them. So I have written here P minus Q. Chalo, I want to write P minus Q as a common. Then what will remain inside the bracket? Obviously P plus Q. If P minus Q is outside, what will remain? P plus Q. If P minus Q is outside, nothing will remain. Nothing means if you divide P minus Q by P minus Q, 7 by 7, 1, 100 by 100, 1, P minus Q by P minus Q, 1. So here minus 1 into D, which is equal to 0. Over. Now what we are going to do? We are going to, as you can see, there is the multiplication, there is the multiplication, there is, means between this term and this term there is the multiplication, D is also in multiplication. So simply I can remove this bracket. Which one? This outer bracket I can remove. Already that bracket doesn't exist there. Chalo. Now this is the one term and whole is the another term, as there is the only multiplication between them. These two terms, what is common? If you observe, you can tell me. What is common? P minus Q is common. I will take P minus Q as a common. What will remain inside the bracket if P minus Q is outside? A and plus as it is. P minus Q is common. What will remain? Rest of the term. So P plus Q minus 1 into D, bracket close, is equal to 0. As their product is equal to 0, when the product is equal to 0, either he must be 0 or he must be 0. He cannot be 0 because two different terms are there, their sequences must be different now. It is the pth term, it is the qth term, so that sequences must be different. They are not equal. If they are not equal, their subtraction cannot be 0. Then who can be 0? He must be 0. Okay? Then directly I am writing, but you should write P minus Q due to the lack of space. Okay? You must be writing that P minus Q is not equal to 0. Who is equal to 0? He is equal to 0. Who is equal to 0? A plus p plus q minus 1 bracket close, sorry, this bracket into d is equal to 0. It is equal to 0 and I will number it as a 1. Okay. May I write the rest of the part here? Okay, no issue. So till then you can take one screenshot of the board. So for further reference you can use it if you want. Okay. Now I am continuing here. It is number 1. P plus qth term, T of P plus Q, A plus n minus 1 means P plus Q minus 1, P plus Q minus 1 into D. This is the P plus qth term, right? It is number 2. What is the value of A plus P plus Q minus 1 into D in 1? 0. So here directly you can write from 1 and 2. T times P plus Q means P plus qth term is equal to 0 and hence proved. So students, for such kind of questions you can write into the comment box. Definitely I will be solving those questions for you. If you understand this question and if you find this method is little bit easy to understand, subscribe the channel. Also share this video with your friends so it can help them out. Okay, thank you very much.